Well, hello guys. Welcome back. Today's actually a different type of video. Today I thought I'd go over the differences between a 3.5-inch hypersonic and a 3.5-inch Federal ammunition. I know this isn't the normal type of videos I do, but I've just been hunting a lot more, and I actually kind of wanted to talk about the differences. I'm going to do some weight scales to see the difference in gunpowder weight and BB weight, if there is a major difference. What I am cutting up is a 12 gauge, 3.5, 1700 feet per second, 1 3-ounce double BB. And that is a hypersonic Remington. And right here I have 12 gauge, 3.5-inch, 1 3/8 double BB moving at 1550 feet per second. You can kind of tell already that this one has a lot less brass going down than that one. So that makes me wonder if there's more gunpowder material in here that's why these ones shoot so fast. I'm actually going to cut them up and weigh them with a scale so that you guys will know. So we're going to do the 3.5 Double BB Federal that's only moving at 1550 feet per second first. Let's see what's inside here after I cut it open. Real quick, before I continue to do this, I would like to say, do not try this at home. I'm doing this purely for educational reasons of the difference between Remington Hypersonic and a Federal ammunition. I want to know what makes this one so much faster. Is there less weight than what's in that one? You know, is there more gunpowder? Well, we're going to find out. But real quick, before I finish this and do any more, like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I say let's continue. So I have the scale here. It is turned off. Actually, it turned itself back off, so we'll turn it on. Leave the little pour thing there so that it's zeroed out with it on there. And now I have the BB part of this open and cut open, so we're going to see how much these BBs weigh. So right around 559.4, it's going up a little bit more. 559.3 grams. That's a good bit of BBs, and I also see some red chunk-looking things in there that I actually don't know what those are. So it seems that there's around 559 grams of pure steel, along with some of these plastic rubber pellets in here. I don't know what they're for. They could have been for packing reasons, but I did inspect them. They do seem just to be plastic rubber pellets. There were quite a few more, but I feel like out of the end of the shotgun, they're not going to matter that much. So that is how much the steel from a 3.5 Federal 2-shot 1 3/8 is. It's 559 if you take out all the plastic. And now that was some of the gunpowder that was stuck on the actual wad that I had removed with my finger, but now we're going to pour the rest of the gunpowder in here and see what she measures. Oh, that seemed to be most of it that came out on the wad. Make sure there's none left in there at the light if I can. Oh, there's a lot left in there. I'm going to tap it in and make sure I get all of it. Well, I actually had to tap the shotgun shell with the end of my knife on the sides to get all of it to knock loose, and I actually walked away with 49.7 grams of gunpowder. So right around 50 grams of gunpowder. That seems like a lot, I'm going to suppose. I'm not a mathematician for shotgun shells or not, but that seems like a lot of gunpowder. It looks like a lot of gunpowder if I kind of mush it and move it around. It was in big clumps, and now it's not. So be careful. This is very flammable. It will explode if you do it wrong. But right there, you got about 50 grams of gunpowder in a Federal 3.5. So just to kind of come back, we had 500 and I thought it was 60 grams of BBs and 50 grams of gunpowder in that 3.5 2-shot. So let's move on to the hypersonic. Okay, so I got the tip of the hypersonic 3.5. This was like me wasting $2. How much these shells cost? Ridiculous. In my area, I don't know what the price is for you guys. I'll actually tell you the price difference between the Federal, Waterfowl, and Remington per shot after I get this done. Seems to be filled with a lot more of those plastic fillers that I also got out of that are actually everywhere too. So with all of them in, oh, turned itself off again. So we'll turn it on. It'll automatically zero out to the weight of the scale, the metal thing. Okay. Wow, 538 grams. So there seems to be less weight in the hypersonic BBs. Not too much, by about 22 grams. I don't know how much of a big difference that is. That's 10 grams right there. So that's about 2 of those that are missing from the Hypersonic to the Federal. I guess that's to be expected because I'm going to guess that this is holding maybe more gunpowder. We'll find out. I think the gunpowder for the thing was at 50 grams, so let's see. So actually, when I cut it open and brought the wad out, there's actually less gunpowder stuck to the wad. The wad's also shaped differently. This one is flat-ended, and this one actually has a little tube coming off of it. Don't know what that changes, if it changes anything. It might. Let's see how much gunpowder is in this bad boy that dumps out. Okay, let's just check in here real quick. Yeah, that one actually came out clean. So it seems like the Hypersonic has a cleaner gunpowder that looks a little bit more refined, maybe a little bit thicker, that doesn't seem to have a sticking problem, whereas the Federal's gunpowder stuck in clumps. I don't know how big of a difference that makes. Maybe it being more refined and bigger, maybe it does burn faster, and that's why it's shooting faster. And so let's compare the 2 shotgun shells and see where we're at. So I am outside now on the table where we actually clean our birds and everything we shoot. And so the top half of this is filled with the Hypersonic gunpowder, and the bottom half is filled with the Federal. So we're actually going to... So if I actually change the camera so it can focus a little bit better, you can see that the Hypersonic is more refined, bigger pellets. But I think there was more of them in weight comparison. You can see where it stops, and you can see where the Federal gunpowder takes over, and you can really right here tell the difference between the Hypersonic and the Federal. The Federal is really a lot smaller and clumps up a lot easier. It seemed like it had a hard time coming apart. I can actually crunch it, the ball, like there's a hard ball right there I can crunch in the smaller pieces, but the Federal has no issue with clumping. I don't know if it's because it's bigger or if it's just a more refined. I know that it does bang harder. I'm not going to be doing a burn test. That would be unsafe with all the gunpowder. We'll actually scoop it together each side so that you can get a comparison. So there's the Hypersonic and there's the Federal. Hypersonics are cool, but the main difference about why I prefer Federals over the Hypersonic is because I have an SX4 and I use this choke right here. This is a long-range choke for my SX4. I'm actually going to be getting a new one because this is just a cheap one that I have. I like a tighter pattern so I can shoot farther and obviously kill stuff when I hit it. This is only rated for 1550 feet per second. While this shell is rated for 1515 feet per second, this is actually rated for 1700. So if you have a gun where you're using a choke that is rated for high speeds, maybe the stock choke, you can use Hypersonic. But I like that tight pattern, so I will go ahead and use the Federals. Looks like it might not burn as cleanly. Could probably cause your gun to maybe get a little dirty over time, but that's why you can clean your gun. Just to recap, the Federal steel shot and buffer weighed 560 roughish grams, I remember. And the Hypersonic right here weighed about 538 for the steel shot and the buffer. Gunpowder wise, I believe the Federal was running at 50, and I believe the Hypersonic was running at 60. I'll double check that and make sure. So it would seem that the Federal had 49 grams and the Hypersonic had 56. Not a total different change. You could just tell that there was a little bit more gunpowder, better refined, so I don't think they need much if it's going to burn better. So in the end, the Federal was around 70 cents a shell for me, and the Hypersonic was $1.40. So it's not too big a change, but it is double the price when I compare how much I paid for both of them and divide it by how many rounds you get, 25. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. In the comment section, comment if there's any other shotgun shells that you'd like to know the difference between shotgun shells you'd like to know the difference between of. I'll cut them open and we'll figure out the weight and everything. If there's anything you guys can think of that I could add to doing this, you could tell me. The primers are roughly the same size. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.